Am I the jerk for disagreeing with my mom and stepdad and talking back to them during an argument? My mom and stepdad got married 3 years ago. I am not sure how long they were together before that, but I have known him and my stepsister for about 3.5 years. Mom has me, a 16-year-old female, and my younger sister, an 11-year-old female. My stepdad has my stepsister, who is also an 11-year-old female. I admit I never had the most positive feelings about my mom getting married to someone else. I always saw them as people she chose, but not people I was choosing. I figured I could accept them being in our lives, but I knew from the start I did not want him to be my new dad or his daughter to be my new sister. I can be friendly and not mean, but the dynamic is not the same, and I never wanted to work on that on my part. I love my sister, and even when we fight, I will always be there for her. That is not the same with my stepsister. Back in April, my sister was stressing about one of her friends, and we were talking a lot. I was there for her and tried to help her out with that. I did not know, and honestly never checked, that my stepsister was dealing with a bully. One day, my stepdad was called to the school after an incident with the bully. There was a second meeting after the bullying was exposed, and that is when my stepdad and mom told my sister and me. My stepdad said my stepsister was embarrassed about it and we would not make a big deal out of it with others. But they still expected me to be there, offer advice, and provide a shoulder to lean on and cry on. I did not. My stepsister brought it up once and I was like, that sucks, hope it stops kind of thing. My stepdad asked his daughter if she had leaned on me and spoken to me, and she said no, and that I had never approached her. He told my mom. Mom asked me if I reached out to my stepsister like I would with my sister. I said no. She told me I should. I said I had not wanted to. Mom was really surprised and asked me why not, and I told her it is different doing it for my sister because I love her and want to be her support. Since that talk in May, there has been a lot more discussion about it. We argue sometimes. They have talked about how I have a duty as the oldest sister in the house. They said that when we became a family, we agreed to be there for each other. They said this again 3 days ago, and I disagreed and said I never agreed to anything. They did all the agreeing. I went along with it because adults and kids, but it should have been pretty clear I was not suddenly acting like an older sister of 2. My mom argued back. Her husband was rambling to himself. I told them they could make me be civil and friendly and not mean, but they could not make me do more than that. I was really talking back to them. This annoyed them, and they called me disrespectful and told me I do not value family like I should. I argued back that I do, but we have a different idea on who is and is not family. Am I the asshole? You are not the one at fault. You're setting boundaries without being mean or spiteful, which shows a lot of maturity. Your mom and stepdad need to realize that you didn't choose any of this, and they can't force a relationship with your stepsister. They're people your mother chose to make her family, and you have no obligation to manufacture familial feelings. Am I the jerk? My parent wants me to take out a $10 personal loan to help them pay off their debt. Backstory: I am an only child, a 27-year-old male to a single mother, a 63-year-old female. She has been the only one in my corner for my entire life. Over the last 4 to 5 years, my mom has been financially struggling. She retired prematurely at 61 from teaching and has been living off of her retirement checks and part-time schooling money. Since I graduated from graduate school in 2021, I knew this was an awful decision the moment she told me, considering she lives in a very high cost of living area without full income. Long story short, she's been struggling financially since I moved out in 2022. It took me about a year to become financially stable, yet I still helped her out by sending whatever money I could. This year has been brutal. I've loaned her about $17,000 to $23,000 this year alone. In the last 60 days, I loaned her $8,000, $5,000 of which was used to save our home. She still hasn't paid it back, and honestly, I'm not expecting it until closer to the end of the year. Now she's asking for me to take out a $10,000 loan so she can pay off more debt. Meanwhile, I want to buy my girlfriend of 7 years a nice engagement ring, and I've also been saving for a down payment on a home. I know that it's a loan, so it doesn't have to be paid back immediately, but I seriously question her ability to pay back the loan. I don't want to put myself in a financially compromising situation in the event she can't pay it back, and I'm left with $10,000 more in debt. I have about $190,000 in student loans for a doctoral degree. She's begging, and I really don't want to do it, but at the same time, I don't want to see her crumble. She'll start getting consistent income once the school year starts, as she'll be going back part-time. Yet still, on top of that $10,000 loan, she also has a mortgage, which I help with. She has fees of around $600 monthly. She has insurance of about $800 monthly and basics like food. I buy about $300 to $400 worth of groceries monthly when I come home to visit. Am I the asshole for not wanting to take out a loan to help her? Should I help her? I'm just so lost and I need advice. Someone, anyone please. I intermain. Horsin Herabats. You did nothing to be ashamed of. Your mom needs to move to a more affordable area where her retirement income can fully support her. Lending her more money is just enabling her bad decisions rather than helping her improve her situation. She seriously needs to revise her budget, probably sell the house, and stop being a financial burden on you. Am I the jerk for causing a shouting match with my friend's girlfriend at a Renaissance festival? I'm new to Reddit, and my brother suggested I give it a try to get an outside perspective because it has been bothering me. I, a 22-year-old female, have been dreaming of attending a Renaissance festival for a while. It's a big deal for me, and this year, I finally made it happen. I went with my boyfriend Jake, a 23-year-old male, and my childhood friend Tim, a 22-year-old male, who also joined us with his girlfriend Melissa, a 21-year-old female. I've only met Melissa a handful of times, and our interactions have always been polite. I spent weeks making my medieval-style dress, and I was excited to wear it. Jake and Tim also dressed up. Melissa came in regular clothes, which was fine, but she seemed annoyed from the start when we arrived at the festival. The festival was amazing. Everything was amazing, and the overall atmosphere was incredible. However, Melissa looked bored and loudly complained about everything. She complained about how hot it was, how silly the costumes were, and how expensive everything was. I tried to stay positive and enjoy myself, but her negativity was starting to eat at me. As we were walking through the stalls, Melissa spilled her drink all over my dress. It was sticky and left a huge stain. She apologized, but it felt insincere, more like she was annoyed that I got teary-eyed than genuinely sorry. I tried to not think about it, but it was hard not to be upset. Everything erupted when we reached a small performance stage. There was a group performing a music comedy act, and we stopped to watch. As we were watching, Melissa kept loudly making sarcastic comments about how childish the whole thing was. Jake and I tried to ignore it, but then she started mocking the actors loudly enough for people around us to hear. Jake got uncomfortable, and I finally snapped and told her that if she didn't like it, she didn't have to be here. Melissa then raised her voice at me, saying I was being a queen and a snobby douche about the festival. I raised my voice also, trying to defend myself and my excitement for the festival. It quickly escalated into us shouting. Tim ended up shouting at me as well, saying I was being completely unfair and making Melissa feel like an outsider. The argument grew loud and strangers started staring. Jake started moving us back to the car and kept saying things like, "Let's just calm down and this isn't worth fighting over." He even suggested I apologize, which made me even more frustrated. Eventually, Jake decided to cut the day short for everyone. The drive home was silent as I was still fuming. Tim didn't speak to me, and Melissa kept giving me cold looks the whole drive back. It's been several weeks, and Tim and I haven't spoken. Some of our mutual friends think that I was the one who ruined the day by taking things too seriously. I'm starting to wonder if I was too harsh and if I should have just let things go. You are not in the wrong, and F saying you are sorry. She had a bad attitude because she was jealous and definitely projected it onto everyone. Melissa made herself feel like an outsider and ruined everything for you. Good riddance to both of them. Am I the jerk for not changing the location of my birthday dinner? Context backstory. I, a 32-year-old man, am celebrating my first birthday back home after being in the military for over 10 years. I got out of the military last year after my birthday, so this is my first one home. My birthday was this past weekend, and my parents originally forgot about my birthday and scheduled a vacation that they couldn't or didn't want to cancel. My 27-year-old brother and his 27-year-old spouse live a few towns away. They only communicate when they need or want something. I have attempted for almost a year to hang out or meet up to spend time with my brother. He either always cancels or makes an excuse as to why they won't attend. The favorite excuse involves their toddler, and they use it frequently. I am aware that having children makes it difficult to do things that you previously did before they were in the picture, but I'm more than willing to usually accommodate them, and they would be welcomed at any hangout or meetup. My 26-year-old spouse and I have gone out of our way for them to watch their child, as well as meet up with them for their convenience. For example, we drove over 45 minutes to meet up for my brother's spouse's birthday. On to the current situation. My parents wanted to make it up to me for missing my birthday. They told me I could pick wherever I wanted to eat, so I chose one of my favorite restaurants that's in a town 30 minutes away from us at 6 p.m. My brother and his spouse informed me that they will not attend, saying that it's too inconvenient and would disrupt the nighttime routine of their child, or that eating at a later time would mean they might have a tantrum. They said they would attend if it were someplace in my town. For reference, my town is approximately 30 minutes away from their house, and the restaurant is approximately 45 minutes from their house. I said that while I understand their reasoning, I am disappointed that they wouldn't try to find an alternative solution other than just not attending, but they are adults and can do as they see fit. For those of you who will ask why I didn't change the location to a place in my town, the locations for sit-down dining are limited. We either eat at them frequently or due to dietary limitations that are new for me, I cannot eat there. Plus, regardless of distance or whether we liked the restaurant, we accommodated them for their birthdays. My parents feel that I should just change the location so they can attend. But after no one wanted to spend time with me, my brother and his spouse were home the weekend of my birthday, or be home for my actual birthday. I don't want to sacrifice my happiness to eat somewhere that I don't want to, or somewhere that will make me sick. Am I the asshole for not wanting to change where I have my birthday dinner after no one wanted to or could do anything on my actual birthday? Also, would I be the asshole if I decided to go no contact because I'm tired of how I'm treated? You are not the jerk. You have every right to enjoy your birthday at a place you would enjoy. They were reasonable in not wanting to travel, but you're also justified in wanting to eat at the place you chose. Clearly, you're not being appreciated, so if you have to go by yourself, do so and enjoy the meal. Am I the jerk for not letting my sibling use my bathroom? I, an 18-year-old female, have two younger siblings. Mila, a 15-year-old female, and Aiden, a 14-year-old male. Since I am the oldest, I have an ensuite bathroom that will become Mila's once I leave for college. Recently, Mila has gotten really into makeup and spends well over an hour in the bathroom each morning. During this time, she will not allow Aiden to use the bathroom even just to relieve himself. Aiden asked me if it was okay if he started to use my bathroom in the morning, and I said that was fine. I thought it would not be a big deal, but Aiden did not always flush, regularly left splatters on my toilet seat, clogged the toilet twice, and never turned on the fan or sprayed air freshener. Aiden has a really strange diet, causing frequent foul bowel movements. It got to the point where I was embarrassed to have friends over because of how bad the bathroom smelled. For 2 weeks, I reminded Aiden every day to wipe, flush, turn on the fan, and spray air freshener. I even put signs in the bathroom for him, but he just ignored me. Eventually, yesterday morning, I told Aiden he had to either use the guest bathroom or the half bathroom attached to the kitchen, or figure something out with my lay. When I got home that evening, my mom was very upset with me. She told me it was a privilege to have an ensuite bathroom and that most kids have to share with their siblings. She said I should be more willing to share with Aiden. I pointed out that Mila is not sharing with Aiden either, and that there are other bathrooms in the house that are mostly unused. Mom said that we would all talk as a family this weekend, but in the meantime, I should be more considerate of Aiden's needs and let Mila experiment with makeup. She also reminded me that I used to spend as much, if not more, time as Mila getting ready, but it did not impact anyone since I had my own bathroom. I'm wondering if Reddit thinks I am being unreasonable, or if I have a point. There are other bathrooms in the house that are mostly unused, so why not have Aiden use the guest bathroom or the half bathroom attached to the kitchen? Ask your mother to let your brother share her bathroom for a week and see what her thoughts are after that. Maybe she could set up a makeup station for Mila in her room and teach Aiden proper hygiene. You did nothing to be ashamed of. No one wants to clean up after a messy sibling. Am I the jerk for asking for money for the food I bought for a friend's wedding? I am a 28-year-old female living in Delaware with a well-paid job, currently supporting both myself and my boyfriend, who lost his job. Recently, I was invited to a 2-day Spanish-Italian wedding as the bride's witness. The 2-day event included a wedding ceremony, lunch, party, and a barbecue the next day to celebrate a relative's birthday. We were told not to bring any gifts as the couple had planned a second wedding in Italy for more than 80 people and had rented out a mansion. The groom's family is very rich. As a witness and best friend, I always went above and beyond by helping her in everyday life. For the wedding, I rented a car for more than 250 euros. I was picking up guests and helping a lot with logistics, such as bringing people from and to the airport. However, things took a weird turn when I arrived at the barbecue and was told that there was not enough food for us and we had to go shopping. Fine, it happens, so we made a list of groceries for ourselves. While we shopped, I got calls from the hosts to buy more food. My boyfriend was even asked to get fresh bread. At the barbecue, I was asked to help with cooking, which I ended up doing for 1 hour. The food we bought was distributed among all tables, meaning that we kind of sponsored the barbecue we were invited to. The most frustrating moment was when my boyfriend asked for bread and wasn't allowed to take the fresh bread he bought. The fiancé's relative was not doing much since he was suffering from a hangover from the previous night. Others were hanging around and enjoying the setup. I had a nasty feeling, though I was happy that I could help. Afterwards, the couple went on a honeymoon and asked me to take care of their plants for 1 month, which is totally fine with me. I prepared them a nice bottle of champagne to celebrate their return from the honeymoon. As I spent a lot of money on food, I wanted to get some reimbursement. It's not like I bought food only for my boyfriend, my friend, and me, but for others who could have gone shopping as well. I added the expenses to splitwise and assigned 2/5 to the bride. Despite my efforts and expenses, I was harshly criticized for being a terrible friend, for not bringing a present, not washing dishes, or contributing enough financially. I was told that I should be thankful that their friends allowed us to stay overnight. We got them a bottle of expensive wine as a thank you. Then her fiancé accused me of trying to get their money and suggested I check my finances. The groom even implied that I didn't do enough for the wedding. However, I had already followed their instructions not to bring a gift and had been supportive in various ways. I was at work when all of this destroyed me emotionally. In conclusion, I felt unappreciated and hurt by the accusations and misunderstandings from my friend and the couple. I had genuinely tried to help and contribute, but it seemed like my efforts were not recognized or valued. It's important to make it clear that while offering your time to help with the wedding is generous, paying for it shouldn't fall on you. If she pushes back and doesn't apologize, it's time to analyze if this friendship is truly reciprocal. Some people stay rich by exploiting others, such as making them buy food for a whole group. Do you really want these people in your life to continue taking advantage of you? Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.